Hunger Jack? No, I'm sure there's going to be something that's going to end up being better. But what's up, YouTube nerds? So this, in my opinion, is the best Yuna deck in the meta. And might be the best deck in the meta, although I will say this, Mill is busted as hell right now, and I might look into that next, but this is really good. Now, the one thing that I do want to mention when I'm talking about this deck, and honestly, any deck is you're always fighting the algorithm. We all know this. Like if you were to build this deck and literally change one card, it's going to change the your whole experience, and it's going to change the whole functionality of the algorithm. It's going to change what you're going to draw, how much you're going to draw it, and it's definitely going to change what kind of matchups you're going to be faced with. Now, with any deck, I don't care what deck it is, you're going to go through a streak somewhere. We're going to lose like 4 or 5 games in a row because the algorithm's just stuck and just tripping and putting you up against bullshit and just constantly giving you, you know, one land for 8 turns, 4 or 5 times in a row. Sometimes it's good to tinker around with 1 to 2 to 3 cards just to throw off the algorithm a little bit and kind of give you some better matchups, because unfortunately that's just the realism of playing Arena. Because you can't just play what you want to play. A big part of that is playing what the algorithm will let you play, and we all know this is true. Originally, I had this set up slightly different, but this is pretty much where we're at, and I would say it's perfect. The only thing, and I was just thinking about this, there's only 2 things that might make this a little better. Maybe taking away 2 ghost vacuums and adding some swift boots would be pretty fucking good. Especially if I took out one of these things and added a Herald of the New Dawn. But at the end of the day, Yuna is ridiculous. Vivi is ridiculous. And I've thought long and hard, and maybe I'll get proven wrong, and I hope that I am. But this right here, this is the best card in the game right now. Because y'all remember that, what is it, Kona? Right? The one that gives you 4 3/3s, but every time you attack? This is actually kind of better. Because it's monocolored. And then after the 4 turns of building up your little army, and they all become indestructible forever, which is just fucked. And they get bigger. And honestly, I think what somebody needs to break is to figure out how to remove those lore counters faster, to get down to the 5th to make all your creatures indestructible, because then this dude would really be busted. But ideally, I know I wanted to ramp, and I knew everybody was running Yuna in that, what is it, that red and green shell or whatever the fuck it is they're doing. I fucking hate red. I just do. I fucking hate red. I think we all do, and we're all sick of it, and we're all glad that it's down in the basement where that crap belongs. And one of the reasons why I love that Yuna is so powerful is A, she's, one of the most memorable characters from the game, hands down, and B, she's green and white, which is just a really fucking phenomenal, always been powerhouse color set, to play together. But Golgari, I just decided, and I think some other people have, is the way to go, because Reanimator is definitely back in a huge freaking monstrous way. Reanimator is on fire right now. But, so anyways, I literally have one plane in the whole deck, right? Because a lot of times, we're going to end up just playing Yuna straight up for a cost. But we got one plane, right? And we've got 3 of the Hushwood Verge, and 3 of the Bleached Bone Verge. So, chances are at some point you'll either draw this one, or you'll draw this one, and if not, eventually you'll draw one of these. And of course, worst case scenario, we are running 2 of the Overlords, which will give you, the mana you need, the 1 white mana you need to play Yuna, which, is nice. This guy will straight up go fetch it for you, right? And so these 5 right here, I had more ramp in here initially. I had like 3 of those, what are those vehicles called? Whenever they cost 3 mana, they come into play, and whenever they attack, you put a land into play. It was just too much ramp. I was just getting flooded out all the time, and this seems to be the number. You will get screwed every once in a while, because if you see here, I actually, for the first time in a very long time, cut this deck down to 22 lands. You don't want to run out of lands on this, but 22, for whatever reason, it's literally the magic number. But you can fetch lands with these. You can fetch lands with these, right? And you can play these guys and get them in the graveyard, play one of these, and then fetch lands again, right? Now, typically, 100% in one of these decks, I would have had a spot for Liliana. But as you all should know by now, Liliana's rotating. We're about to lose maybe the single most powerful card in the format. I mean, Liliana's just busted. There's a lot of really good cards in the format, but I don't think there's anything for 3 mana or less that gets the kind of value that she does. The one that can actually destroy your whole board. The only creature that comes as close to being a single-handedly taken over game as Liliana, in my opinion, is Kotus. And if you haven't played Kotus, he's a one-man fucking army, and he don't need nobody else. The same thing. So, my point is, I've taken a liberty upon myself to make all of my decks rotation-proof. Because on one hand, yeah, I get it, it's the last couple of weeks, you're going to have to play with all the old cards, but I don't want to be sitting here in 3 weeks and be like, oh shit, none of my decks work. So this is rotation proof. So initially I had like think I had 3 to rest instead of these ghost vacuums, and probably another Anarch Wayfarer. But the simple fact of the matter is, y'all, not only will you run into a lot of Yuna decks and a lot of Reanimator decks, but you'll also run into Agatha Soul Cauldron decks. You know, the Agatha Soul Cauldron and Vivi that everybody's running. So I actually decided to bump this up to 3. It's a bit of an excess, but I feel like I figure between these and the 2 removals, strategic betrayals, we've got a way to keep their graveyard under, you know, wraps. Now sometimes, you know, you'll kind of wish you didn't do that because you got, you know, Yuna sitting out here, and you know, we are running 2 virtues of persistence, right? So sometimes you'll have these virtues out, but their graveyard's empty because you shut all their shit down. And you're like, oh man, I wish I would have done that. But you know. So anyways, we are running just 1 copy of Duress. Super dope if you get it. If you don't, you don't. You know, phenomenal card. It was reprinted in Foundation, so it's here for 5 years or forever. 1 copy of Tiny Bones. You know, every once in a while, he will get you in a tally. Maybe once every 10-15 games. So that's why Tiny Bones is there, because once every 15 games, he will win you a game. And I will want to point out, with the Ghost Vacuum, you will get into situations. And I had one earlier today, where I sacrificed it and played a 1/1 Flying Atali and got some stuff that won me the game. From the Discover. Or was it a Carnosaur? One of those. So that's another good thing about Ghost Vacuum. It can definitely bail you out if you exile the right thing. Yeah. 3 Bitter Triumphs to fill up your graveyard, but you... honestly, they do help sometimes. But we're not running very much of these fatties. We're just not. But we mill with the Anarch Wayfarer. Only 2 copies. It's between the 2 copies of this and the 3 copies of that. That's enough mill. But you also get, you know, definitely have 4 copies of Overlord of the Balemark. That's some good mill too. And I actually had a game. I did have a game today where I milled myself out and lost. So there's more than enough mill in here. 1 Deadly Cover-Up. It comes up about once every 7 or 8 games. So it's a thing, but it's, you know, it's just one of those one-offs where, you know, we're not really, you know, we're not running the whole board wipe thing, but every once in a while it'll, you know, it'll save your butt. So that's all you really, you know, that's all you're really looking for. 3 Preacher of the Schism. With all these big baddies out there, you'd be freaking amazed how much people are afraid of a little 3-mana Death Touch. And the fact that it can get you creatures and cards. I mean, it's a phenomenal creature. I mean, I almost never put it in my deck, and you know, but at the end of the day, this creature, it's good. So yeah, 3 Preachers kind of protect you from their fatties, right? 3 of the Summon Fenrir. All this 2nd and 3rd stuff is just all bullshit. Essentially, you just want to get him into play for 3 mana. You've got a 3/2 body for a couple of turns. You can fetch a land if you need it. Usually it's going to be white, but who knows, right? So, 3 Zombifies. I mean, I'm sure you could go up to 4, but 3 seems to be okay. And honestly, just because the win rate is so good, I feel like just changing any 1 card is just gonna make it less functional. I actually, when I built this deck, I only had 3 units, so I've only got 3 copies in here. I did pick up a 4th unit today, but it's not necessary. 3 is the good number. I've only got 1 Tyrant and 1 Titan, and I kind of think I almost wish I had another copy of him in here, but when he dies, you can just get him back with Yuna, so it's all good. But a 7/7 trample for 5 that mills you 5 and then puts all your lands into the battlefield. And then, I mean, this dude does everything. I mean, the Chocobos are cool, but this Titan is the truth. This is one of the most insane green cards we've seen since Genesis Wave, which is entirely underplayed. Genesis Wave is fucking busted. This, my friends, is a magic card. This is everything green should be. Cheap, big, trample, all your lands, right? Ramp, turn something into a huge fatty. I mean, if he gets to turn 3, even turn 2, it's backbreaking. But so we've got 1 Odin, 1 Overlord of the Boiler Bilges, and with the anything lands from the Overlord, you can play this from your hand sometimes. 1 Summon Knights, 1 Bahamut. Now this, we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4 of the big fatties. That may not seem like much, but these little bodies from the Overlord of the Hauntwoods and the Overlords of the Belmont, it's plenty, right? And then of course you can keep getting them back over and over again. And we do have 2 Virtue of Persistence, which helps just kind of stock up on the early removal, as well as coming on later. Now, what a lot of people forget is they're always using enchantment creatures for Yuna, but she actually just reenacts enchantments. So you can, a lot of times, I'll pitch this in the graveyard early just so I can bring it out with her for free. It's kind of insane, and then you get 2 creatures every turn. It's kind of disgusting. And these guys right here, they come up a lot more than you think. Now, every once in a while, you'll go through a run of maybe 2-3 games where you're just not getting your lands, but 90% of the time, I mean, in mirror matches against the red version of this, they don't have a chance. I would say the biggest weakness is mill and possibly mono white. Sometimes mono white can just go crazy. Sometimes mono red can just go crazy, but there's mostly enough removal in here, so your rates against mono red are going to be good. I would say mill is your biggest weakness, and Agate the Soul Cauldron, milling out your graveyard, can be a real problem, right? So if you wanted to tinker around with this and maybe add like 1 or 2 cards, just to deal with Agate the Soul Cauldron, that could be a thing. But blue can literally mill you out in like 3 or 4 turns. It's gross. But my overall experience with blue is about 50-50 against those, crazy blue milled control decks, whatever. You just have to, if you can suck them dry out of counter spells before they can mill you out, you can take them out. But you'd say your weakest matchups are probably against mono blue mill, and occasionally against mono white, and occasionally Orzhov Sacrifice just goes stupid. But I would say overall, my win rate with this deck is easily 75%. Now, I have gone into a run where I've lost like 3 in a row, but that's about the extent of it, and then I'll turn around and I'll win like 3 in a row. I've had quite a few games where people just quit on turn 3. But I've always been a fan of Necro decks, and honestly, y'all, this is perfect. The only thing that might be really fucking funny to put in here, just because you can, like maybe drop a Deadly Cover-Up and just drop a random Omniscience in there. Like, why not? Why not? But this, exactly as it is, if you have the ability try to create this verbatim, because I'm telling you, one card, it changes the dynamic of a deck and the algorithm. And I'm not just saying that to build my shit, I'm saying that to help y'all. Y'all know. Y'all freaking know. This deck is fire. So, I'm gonna take 5 really quick. I'm gonna come back. Yeah, because y'all know what this stuff is. I think I went over everything, right? Like, I really have. So yeah, I'm gonna take 5, and then I'm gonna come back, and we'll go. I just hit Mythic just about 10 minutes ago, and we will start playing some games this in the actual Mythic ladder, and we'll see how we do. So we are back. So a lot of people, they get to Mythic, and they're like, you know, I want to get into the top 100, or I want to be number 1, which I'm sure is cool. But for me, getting to Mythic, for everybody, it can be taxing and a bit of a struggle, right? When I get to Mythic, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm here. Now I can F around. Now I can start brewing, as everybody calls it. I don't really like that word. I don't know why. I know, but that's what everybody calls it. But I like building decks and trying new things and doing innovative ideas and stuff. Now that I'm actually here, I don't really care, right? But we will showcase the power of Yuna. Now, watch me lose like 8 in a row. Well, I'm a bit tired. This is a bit of a slower deck. It's not really a control deck, it's just slow. Which is weird for not being a control deck. I like the land, I like the removal, I do like 2 Death Touch, but I don't know if we should keep this. We're 635, y'all. Holy guacamole. And they just quit. Well, I'm glad I pondered on that thing, because apparently they didn't like the way their starting hand looked either, so... Let's go. We're 1-0 in Mythic. A dub's a dub. I was just talking about how slow this deck is, and for not being control, we won in like 20 seconds. Let's go! I wanted to update my avatar. Originally, this deck was something entirely different. I've got all my fatties here, and I can't mill any of them. That's there's no green. Yeah, this is definitely a mulligan. That's not a zillion times better, but you know what? We keep. Still no green, but we're pretty much running all black. Hopefully we can pitch this or play it later. It's only 5 mana. We'll get to it, right? So yeah, this is good. We can get should I get rid of 1 Preacher? Aww. I kind of want to keep 2 Preachers. They're just so good. But I can get 1 and just keep getting it back, right? Play 1, they kill him, get it back again. So maybe we'll just keep just the Titan. Yeah, why not? You see, there's already our white mana we're going to need for Yuna if we get to her. And sometimes we will necro her. It will come up where you will zombify Yuna. Right? It definitely happens. There's the green. We like that. So now we've got all our colors. And the worst mill in the history of the universe, but losing 2 Ghost Vacuums is not the end of the world. Although we are playing a mono-red mirror match version of let's just go. Do I want to do that? No. Let's do discard a card and cancel. We don't need that. Let's just... Okay, where were we? I just had some psycho texting me with some bullshit. Let's see here. Do we want to go for some more mail, or do I want to just get rid of this fucking... I think it's a good time to do some more mail. need another land dude or something there that we can grab back. And there he is. See? And we chill. And we got 2 turns, 3 turns, or 4 turns away for 2 overlords. Although I'm not sure what the hell they're playing. I mean, I'm assuming this is Yuna, but this is a very unusual Yuna. Typically, I've always dominated the red Yuna. But who knows what's going to happen here. But there's 4. And let's just go ahead and do this now while they're tapped out. Let's do that, get rid of this. Ditch that. We'll hold off on the land. Draw a card here, I think. I don't remember how this fucking thing works. Yep. More mill. More mill. There's the love of my life, Yuna. Any luck, we can top deck a land, but if we do, they're probably sending like 8 counter spells now. Well, maybe not. They're just drawing a shit ton of cards. Some omniscience deck, maybe? I don't know. Like, this is a really... If this is Yuna, this is a weird fucking Yuna, right? And of course, we didn't get the land, so hopefully we can pop it next turn. So let's just go and grab it now. Card. Go to 13. Play a land. Oh shit. That's actually a good fuck. That's an old school deck. I forgot about that conquest. That's a little scary, but we got some stuff for their ass, right? One of these dudes can change the whole dynamic of that bullshit, so these flyers are a fucking problem, 100%. Oh, having that haste is a bitch too. Oh, I think they just won the game, didn't they? Wow, okay, that was actually pretty impressive. Yeah, Leech Knight's Conquest is still a thing. I forgot about that card. And I'm not mad about losing to it, because I love that combo and not enough people play it, so they... Mad, now the fact that they played it in blue and red is just... That kind of makes me puke. But, yeah. I forgot about that card. And I used to run it religiously. And I feel like sometime in the next week, everybody's going to be playing Leech Knight Conquest. Or maybe it's something else I'm thinking of. This is pretty good. I got Yuna, I've got a discard, I've got Bahamut, I've got 4 lands. That's actually phenomenal. That's even better, because if we can maybe discard... oh well, we'll see what happens. This is a good freaking draw, y'all. Go ahead and get rid of Cecil. Not letting you get out of hand. at the end of the day, we still get our discard, so, you know, it doesn't matter. We can't play anything here, so let's go ahead and pop the passage, right? Might as well. Doesn't cost us anything. Grab the forest. Oh, we can actually zombify Bahamut right now and get rid of Glissa? Are you kidding me right now? Bye, Glissa. Yeah, 4th turn Bahamut's a little rough. I don't necessarily know if it was enough to quit, but I didn't see their hand either, right? But yeah. It's amazing for how little of stuff is in here and whatever. Like, a lot of times everything just kind of pops off at the right time. The only thing that I really struggle with is, like, I feel like sometimes it's just impossible to draw Yuna. I feel like a 4th can make a huge difference, but I also feel like for the few times I do struggle to get her, the rest of the time, the way it works with the algorithm, I feel like it's just not worth it. Mill on land, mill. This is all pretty good. I wish this was a forest instead of that, but we'll see how we go. I have to go first, so I have to make a big decision here. I like to save these in case I need to dig for a plains. But I almost feel like it's almost better to go for, you know, the 2nd turn Wayfarer for the mill and the extra land. I mean, I could draw into a forest, but that's a big risk. But then again, a 1st turn to rest is always a solid play. Am I feeling greedy? I am. Let's be greedy. What the hell, y'all? I want to know what you got over here. It looks like some red bullshit. Oh yeah, that's going to hamper their deck tremendously, getting rid of that. Bye! I'm glad I did that. And I can still drop Tiny Bones next turn. And they're... Oh, actually, I don't even have to know. I know I'm just milling land. See? Look at that. I'm just making this game too easy. There's my white. Never didn't have it. Never didn't have it. But if we don't draw some... Well, we still have Bahamut. Or, Belmark. So we can definitely mill into some fatties. Maybe get another land guy right here, that might be okay. Maybe get Yuna. Creature works. Death touch to contend with and chill. I don't care about the 1/1s, it's just these 4 and 5 drops that are about to come out where we're going to use this Bitter Triumph, like that dude right there. Yeah, he's about to die. Because we ain't playing that shit. Let's go ahead and grab another forest. And we don't really want to discard it. I'll actually take the life on this, because I don't have anything to get rid of, but this needs to go. That's unfortunate that we lost a Belmark there, but see, we went through all that shit. Guess how many units we've seen? 0. Kind of wild. It's 5. Is there anything in here worth it after all that milling? Well, we can get the Belmark back and mill some more, so that's something, I guess, so why not? Speak of the devil. Cha-ching! Attack with this first. See, and that's how we do that. All our fatties are in there now. And oh, I thought we had the knights in there, so I'm a little sad that we don't. So let's do Odin. Why not? Little flyer. Not freaking bad. So if that's all they have, they're in trouble. Oh shit, okay, that's actually bad. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. And we can get this here. Get and that's it. What do we want to do? Do we attack first? Yeah, let's attack first. And we'll take tiny bones. And we win, right? Never didn't have it. Odin's stupid. And half the time, the great thing about Odin, he's only 6. Like half the time you can play him from your hand. If you've got Odin out and Yuna's in play, bruh. But yeah, that one little combat trick they have was pretty cool, and I'm sure that works great against like control decks. But something at mine, I'm always just constantly pumping shit out. Nah, bro. Actually, I need 5. I'll be back. dog is so fucking spoiled. I think I might make this the last one, you guys. I don't... Sometimes having 2 Yunas is amazing, sometimes it's just too much. But 1, 2, 3... Which could be just 2. You know what? I feel like we gotta throw this away. It's just too early to be drawing a deadly cover-up, y'all. It's just a dead card in our hand. We might as well just go down to 6, right? So we get this into this, which is freaking fantastic. So I think we'll let the preacher go here. See what we're drawing to. That tiny bones of this thing. We're playing number 268 in the world. And of course they're playing blue, which means we're probably going to be milled out in a couple of turns, but we got a butt ton of removal here, so that's something. And for the moment, we're winning. Oh, is this a... Oh, this is probably a Simulacrum deck, is what this is, right? Blue and white, down at Battlefront. Well, if we don't draw something besides removal soon, we're going to run over by a bunch of artifacts. I did have one of those Ultimas in here that kills all the creatures and artifacts, which I wrecked a freaking Simulacrum deck with a while back, but it just seemed like too much white. See, yeah. See, if we draw Zombify in the next 2 turns, maybe we can do something. That's pretty much the game plan here. But they don't have any, so now they're gonna start popping off, and this could be trouble. I mean, y'all know how the... God damn, it's already about to be freaking 5/5s. But we can do this. If we draw Zombify, we might be able to keep up. This dude here is the answer to the Simulacrum. Because if he gets into play, we can just keep pumping out 3/3/3s every turn. The Simulacrum. The problem with the Simulacrum army is they don't have trample, but they can get out of hurry in a quick. And the fact that they got 2 of those out already, and we have no answer to artifacts in this deck, that's a problem. In this instance, it's better to take 3 life than 5, so let's just do that. And we're probably screwed. They have like 6 cards, we have 1, and yeah, they just popped off too quick for us. It happens. The last time I played Simulacrum, I wrecked them. This time, they're doing their thing, and we can just go ahead and we can call it. I'm gonna give it 1 turn to see if it'll pop a Zombify, and because they're about to get their 3rd Simulacrum right now, which is gonna be like 2 7/7s or something. Yeah. And they'll probably drop another artifact. Like, yeah, we're in serious duty right now. But that, see, I was getting ready. I was almost gonna scoop. Indestructible Army Maker. Oh, and that's it. Wow. They popped off. Good game. I'm not even gonna block. I'm just gonna let him have it. But I'm letting him do a little bullshit. That's pretty insane. I wanted to be kind enough to let him have it. They just did 181 damage. Pretty good. Sometimes you just pop off. Sometimes with this deck, you just draw artifacts all day and can't get a synthesizer for shit. But they literally have the only answer you can have to knights. So I thought I was there, and they had the only answer you could have to it. I was like, okay, that's pretty good. This got white, black, and green. You do have removal and piff. Yeah. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. It's pretty good, y'all. Play the card that sucks. This card sucks. It's a vacuum, it sucks. What kind of fuckery are we up against a read? Where's a chocobo kick? Oh, sheltered? Ooh, last sheltered. Well, Bristly Bill's coming up, so we'll be saving this for Bristly Bill, because he's the catalyst for this whole fucking deck. So, just to make sure there's no fuckery here. Be exiled. And we'll go ahead and throw it out in a second for good measure. But these are not going to come into play unless you know, we drag the game out and end up exiling some of their shit, right? So we should see Bristly Bill right here, I think. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, he's the catalyst for this whole deck. So on that note, bye, Felicia. Scoop. There's a potential 1/1 flying. But chocobos, we're stalling here. We don't. I used to have annexes in here, and I'm telling y'all, they almost never came up, and it just wasn't worth the card draw engine. But we're hurting a little bit right now. But they kind of are too. They've only got 3 cards, but they are chocobos, and they could. With those landfall triggers, they could pop off at any moment in time. Actually, a great draw right now might be a Preacher, to be honest. Well, this will work too. Tiny bones, tiny bones. Don't be fucking with tiny bones. Are they running counters from their little bullshit here? Is that what we're waiting on? No. Outstanding, man. Alright, so we got an answer to this little butt monkey. Go to your home, little anal dwelling butt monkeys. Am I about to get kicked by a chocobo? Oh, they're gonna do a mocking whore. They're gonna make a flying bones. I think I played this first before. Having a flying tiny bones is silly, but it is. It's. I don't know why. I find it amazingly amusing, and I'm not mad at it at all. Especially since, you know, tiny bones. He can't steal games. I could be sitting here getting carried away with the game, and next thing you know, they're playing Odin from my, you know, from my graveyard or something. It definitely can happen. But they're popping off. Yeah, and that's not gonna help either. But they're down to 1 card too. We need a lot of shit. I mean, honestly, we're probably gonna lose this. We're just stalling out. I shouldn't have started with 2 ghost vacuums. That was a rookie mistake. But probably gonna attack with 1 flying, and that's it, right? And then what's in here? Are they gonna play my Overlord and kill my Tiny Bones? Is that what's about to happen right now? Can they play it for 4 for my graveyard? I don't even know if they can. Maybe they can. I'm hoping they can't. Otherwise that'll suck really bad. Tiny Bones is a bitch. Please tell me they can't do it impending. They can. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I could have stole it with the ghost vacuum and I didn't. For as much as I play this game, why am I so bad at it? Can somebody explain? No. But yeah, that's not gonna do us 1 iota of good. This is already over. That's it. Sometimes you will get run over by Chocobos. Sometimes you will get run over by a Simulacrum deck. Any top tier deck can pop off at any moment. But we made it to the top, 650. And all in all, it's pretty solid. So I would say overall, with the way its functionality is with the algorithm, it's pretty good. But I am not gonna lie, I am kind of rethinking the 3 ghost vacuum things, and I'm thinking about maybe popping 2 of those out. And I don't know, putting something else in. I'm not quite sure what yet. I mean, honestly, a couple of Gold Vein Hydras might be pretty good in this deck, right? A little extra ramp. Maybe a couple of, I don't know. It's going pretty good. It's actually going pretty good. This got me to Mythic, y'all. And y'all know how hard it is to get through Diamond. I lost my Mythic match 6 times before I made it. I mean, that's just how it goes sometimes. But, this deck's strong. Chocobos can pop off, Simulacrum can pop off. Those are all tier 1 decks now, and I hope everybody else is thinking the same thing that I am, that the death of mono red being supreme, of all things. I love the new meta. I love the variety of decks. I love the speed, and Wizards finally did something just literally perfect. We still have a couple of problematic cards. I mean, but Sheltered by Ghost, Valgavoth, Algath the Soul Cauldron, Omniscience. There's still a few cards that are just, and even the Knight. And Yuna? What the fuck is that shit? Wow. Vivi, infinite mana on like turn 3. But all in all, I don't think any of them are really shattering the format the way Mono Red was. So I'm all for having broken cards. And they're not completely broken, but they're still broken. But, yeah, I love this meta. I love the game style, I love the gameplay, I love everything about it. And, honestly, this Yuna deck I made is fire, but if I'm being completely honest with you guys, Mill is insane. And I highly anticipate that you guys are going to see lots and lots of mill decks in these future tournaments. And if you don't, you're probably going to see just these sporadic pop-ups of people making mill decks and coming out of nowhere, winning these tournaments, and people going, how? Mill's on fire. There's so many untapped, unexplored things that we still have to look at. But that's it. It's gonna be a short one tonight. I'll try to be on more tomorrow, you guys. But that's the Yuna deck. And I'll pop it up on the screen one more time. We did finish with 2 losses to 2 top tier decks, but we also wrecked some people too. And you know, I would say you're probably gonna get like a 70-75% win rate, even in the top tier ship. But this is what we're looking at: 1 Duress, 1 Tiny Bones, 3 Ghost Vacuums, 2 Redneck Wayfarers, 2 Strategic Portrayals, 3 Bitter Triumphs, 3 Preachers, 3 Fenrir. And so does anybody appreciate the fact that they put Summon on there? Not only for the Final Fantasy reference, but for all the Summon cards we used to have when Magic first started. 3 Zombifies, 1 Deadly Cover-Up for just in case of an emergency, 4 Overlords to fill your graveyard with enchantment stuff, 2 Overlords for ramp, 1 Titan who low-key might be the best card in this set. I don't even know. He's so fucking ridiculously good. 3 copies of Yuna. You got your 1 Bahamut, your 1 Knight of Round, 2 Virtues, which you can play back from the graveyard with Yuna, 1 Boiler Bilges, 1 Odin, 22 lands. We only got 1 plane in the whole deck, 2 white there on Verges, 3 white there on Verges. You only really need 1 white for the whole, just for Yuna, and everything else doesn't matter. Although occasionally it will come up where you will get into a game where you will play Knights of Round from your hand for the cost, because you can ramp pretty good with this deck and kind of stretch things out a bit. 22 lands is the number. I would say that if there were going to be any changes that you would make to the deck, take out 2, not 3, but just 2 vacuums. Maybe the Duress, and then just add like 3 of some other kind of creature. I mean, who knows? Maybe a couple of unstoppable slashers randomly thrown in there might be kind of fire. You know, to be honest. It doesn't fit the theme of the deck, but a broken card is a broken card is a broken card. Or you could throw in 3 Bloodlayer of Alcazars just for the lulz. But I would say I try to keep the mana curve low, right? So, and I want to keep the this is rotation proof, right? None of this stuff is rotating, right? So that's why I like it. So you could take out some of the 2 Ghost Vacuums, maybe a Duress, and figure out some other, maybe throw in a couple of Cecils in there. Who knows? Although, honestly, the Dark Confidant that gives you card draw might be really good in this deck, because you do get lifelink from her. But generally speaking, 90% of the land is pretty, the curve's pretty low with these. But if you hit any of these, though, ouch. So I don't know. Maybe try. I've tried it. Like, you can put some 3 annexes in there for the card draw engine. This did used to have beans, but of course that got banned. Another broken card. But you could try to throw in a few annexes and try to get the card draw in there. But I feel like it just doesn't fit the framework of the deck very well. It just doesn't. You need something more on theme, whatever that may be, you know. And maybe it could be as simple as, you know, we are running white, you know. Maybe throw a couple split ups or get lost in it. Not even split ups. You know what? You don't have to be forced to get into two of it. Maybe take out two ghost vacuums and a duress, and maybe throw in, you know, three get lost. But I feel like if you throw more white cards in there, it's going to change your matchups, and it's just going to change the way the mana flows, and you're going to end up getting stuck with that white all the time because they know you've got all those extra cards. Right now, because you only have the two, it comes up just enough, you know what I mean? So maybe just stick to black. Right now, and though Wesley Snipes says, always been on black. So, but as it is, pretty solid. But those are the changes that I would probably make, is get rid of two of those, one of those, potentially, and put, you know, three of something of whatever in here. I mean, if you want to get, I wouldn't put three more fatties in there. You could throw a Valgamoth and Omniscience in there or whatever, you know. But trust me, it'll end up being too many, and you'll just end up with too many hands where you just get stuck with three of those things in your hand, and you definitely don't want that. With all the millage you have, these come up perfectly fine. You can keep getting them. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't add more fatties, but something with a decent amount of utility. Maybe that Regent Dragon that doubles as a board wipe. That might be a thing. Maybe just you don't want more mill. Trust me, you got enough mill. But I would say potentially something that card draws might be the answer. Which, you know, maybe that's Sephiroth, right? Doesn't he draw your cards? I don't know. Something along those lines. Because that's the only thing, the really, really big weakness of this deck, more than anything, I think, is just the lack of card. There's no card draw engine, and the annexes are not the answer. It's gotta be something else. I'm telling you, I've tried the annexes. It's not worth it. So, I don't know. Freaking fantastic, 75-80% win rate as it is right now. But it could definitely get better. I think this is better than the red and blue version. Every time I play the red and blue version of with all the fear of missing out versions of Yuna, this one beats them every time. So I feel like this one's honestly better. But that's it. I'm out, YouTube nerds. Y'all have a great night.